Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So we have some good news in today's video as Bernie Sanders says that yes, we are absolutely going to keep pushing the bill that would increase Social Security benefits across the board by $2,400 per year or $500 per month for those receiving the special minimum benefit. That is in his bill called the Social Security Expansion Act. So we're going to be going over what he said. Plus, RFK Jr. hopes to make the debate stage with both Donald Trump and Joe Biden on June 27th. Will he be able to do that? We're going to cover that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm. And also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so Bernie Sanders was recently at a conference where they touched base on different issues, including Social Security, healthcare, and other things like that. And well, I think we most know him for his Social Security Expansion Act. It is a bill that does a lot of things for Social Security. It keeps it solvent for the next 75 years. It increases benefits across the board by $200 per month or $2,400 per year. And for those of you receiving the special minimum benefit, it would increase your benefits by close to $500 per month, right around that range. Now, in this conference, he touched on a few different points. So one of the points is that half of older workers right now have virtually no retirement savings at all. So in the time that we're talking about perhaps cutting the Social Security benefits greatly, that would be very, very difficult on them. He also touches base on the fact that 25% of seniors are trying to get by right now on $15,000 per year. That is why he makes the case to raise the special minimum benefit. And then finally, he discusses how to make Social Security solvent for the next 75 years. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
It's the same old story. Yeah, we got in the richest country in the history of the world, 25% of our seniors are trying to get by on $15,000 a year. Try it sometime. Half of our seniors are trying to get by on $30,000 a year. I'm going to talk about anxiety and stress. Half of older workers between 55 and 65 have virtually no retirement savings at all. And then you hear people talking about cutting Social Security. In terms of education, we used to be the best educated country on earth. We're now falling behind many other countries in terms of the percentage of our kids who go to get a higher education, and many of those kids leave school deeply in debt. So we don't have to harp on the issue, but it's not just a healthcare system that is broken. It is not just the way we treat our seniors, which is abysmal. We have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. But when it comes to tax breaks for billionaires, not a problem. To folks who say, well, look, we all love Social Security, but we got to save it. The only way to save it is raise the retirement age or cut the benefits, right? What they forget to mention is that right now, if Wendell makes $16 million a year and you make $160,000 a year, you're paying exactly the same amount into the Social Security Trust Fund. So what you have been advocating for years is what we call lift the cap, right? If you lift the cap and you tax all the income of the individual, you know what we could do? At a time, by the way, when the billionaires pay an effective tax rate lower than working class people. If you do that, you can make Social Security solvent for 75 years. So you end the discussion of Social Security not being there for our kids. And the second thing you do is you raise benefits by $2,400
a year. Yeah.
All right.
And that is a bill that should be voted on.
Well, we're going to push it. Believe me.
Because,
all right, but it is again these
and it would put Republicans in a bind because They don't want to, they're against raising revenue, so they'd be against it for that. They definitely don't want to say they want to cut benefits because, again, their own voters against it. They don't want to offer an alternative. It is the perfect issue to bring up.
So Bernie Sanders says that you better believe that he's going to keep pushing this bill through Congress. He hopes to get this done by the end of this year, and if not by the end of this year, then hopefully maybe 2025 or 2026. We will have to wait and see. But does this bill have the support of the American people? Well, let's go ahead and pull up some polling. So one of the polls that we're going to be looking at here is saying that voters think that Congress should raise taxes on wealthy Americans, not cut benefits, to protect Social Security. So as you can see there, out of all likely voters, 71% believe that Congress should address this by increasing taxes on wealthy Americans. That is one thing that Bernie Sanders' bill does. And then secondly, voters also strongly support the Social Security Expansion Act. So out of all likely voters, 47% strongly support it, 31% somewhat support it, and we can even look here at Democrats. 62% of Democrats strongly support the bill, 23% somewhat support it, and then we can look at Republicans. Even out of Republicans, 72% of Republicans either strongly support or somewhat support the bill. So as you can see there, among the American people, not necessarily lawmakers in Washington, we have a lot of broad bipartisan support for this bill, but whether or not they actually end up passing it, we will have to wait and see if they want to pass it by the end of this year. Obviously, they just have around 6 months left to do so. Now, in some other news, coming up in just a few weeks, we had that first debate on CNN between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Of course, the independent candidate in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. also wants to get up on the stage with them, but neither Trump nor Biden want RFK Jr. up there. Nor does CNN really, but he's really trying to fight and make his case that he deserves to be up there on the stage. So according to The Hill, RFK Jr. scrambles to make debate stage with Biden and Trump. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is using every tool at his disposal to get the first debate with President Biden and former President Trump, though he faces a rocky path to qualify before June 27th. Kennedy has filed a complaint against the Federal Election Commission and is barreling forward with his ballot access campaign, which could help him meet one of the necessary thresholds to make the stage. But he also has other hurdles ahead of him, including meeting the steep polling requirements set by CNN. So if you look at the polling here, right now in one of the most recent polls released back on, today on June 3rd, 2024 is the most recent update that we have. You can see there that Kennedy right now has 8.1% of the support, which obviously is greatly behind both Biden and Trump. But still, to gain 8% of support, that's the most we've seen a third party gain in support for quite some long time. And he's often been compared to sort of like the Ross Perot. Of course, Ross Perot was in the 1992 election versus George Bush and Bill Clinton, and many blame him for sort of playing the spoiler to George Bush, and many people think that Kennedy in this election could perhaps play the spoiler to Joe Biden, since Kennedy, of course, was a Democrat before switching over to the independent party. So many believe that people are going to be fed up with Biden. Democrats are going to be fed up with Biden and instead maybe vote for Kennedy. And because they're voting for Kennedy, that's going to be pulling votes away from Biden and allowing Donald Trump to win those swing states that really could go either way. But leave your thoughts and comments below. Do you believe that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. should be given access to the debate stage to be up there with both Donald Trump and Joe Biden? Leave your thoughts and comments below. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.